Welcome to Grand Prairie Update. I'm Don Johnson.
And I'm Terry Briggs.
The list of candidates is now set for the Grand Prairie city election on May 14th. In Council District 1, incumbent Mark Hepworth is running unopposed. In Council District 3, incumbent William Thorne seeks another term against Billy R. Nash. And in Council District 7 at large, incumbent Ruthie Jackson faces Reynold J. DeLena. All the winners will serve 3-year terms. Voters have until April 14th to register in time to cast a ballot. For more information, go to the city's website at gptx.org or call the city secretary at 972-237-8035.
How are you today? All right.
Burgers, green beer, and college basketball on the big screen. It's all part of St. Patrick's Day at QuikTrip Park in Grand Prairie. The patio party also kicks off ticket sales for the Airhogs, the city's minor league baseball franchise. The 4-year-old team is expected to change hands this week as Southern Independent Baseball wraps up a buyout deal.
For May 14th, that Saturday, I want section 104.
Opening day for the Airhogs 2011 season is Thursday, May 12th. You can buy individual or season tickets in person at the ballpark box office, online at airhogsbaseball.com, or by phone at 972-504-9383.
The Texas Recreation and Park Society is honoring Grand Prairie with 3 awards. Best New Planned Park Site goes to Central Park, located between Arkansas Lane and Warrior Trail at State Highway 161. The 172-acre site includes lakes, waterfalls, trails, and one-of-a-kind artwork.
Close your eyes, one more to your nose.
Best New Recreational Facility goes to The Summit, located at Central Park. The 60,000-square-foot facility features a pool, fitness room, gym, exercise track, banquet rooms, theater, and other one-of-a-kind activities geared toward adults age 50 plus.
Start.
Best New Recreational Program goes to Step Up to Health Regional Day Camp. It's centered on a 1-mile walk for kids from local summer camps and surrounding communities. In recent years, the Grand Prairie Parks and Recreation Department has won several other national and regional awards.
Grand Prairie is adding something new to school zones, a ban on the use of handheld cell phones. Contractors are installing more than 400 signs warning motorists that it is now illegal to use a handheld cell phone in an active school zone. Violators face a fine of up to $200.
Every day we see people talking on cell phones, on handheld cell phones in a school zone, and it is a distraction. Cell phones contribute to motor vehicle collisions, and certainly it distracts from their ability to focus on their surroundings. And I think that everybody would agree that when a person's driving in a school zone, they really should be paying more attention to what's going on around them than to a phone call.
In 2009, state lawmakers authorized the cell phone ban, but gave cities and counties the option of enforcing it after installing the appropriate warning signs. The ban is now in effect in most of the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
This fence is getting to the point where it's going to have to be replaced pretty soon.
In some sense, Grand Prairie's code enforcement officers have been asked to play the role of referee, and many times it's an easy call.
This fence is what I would consider to be a dilapidated fence. The fence is leaning. The fence should be upright and not leaning.
Fences and what you need to know, the subject of this edition of Know the Code.
Deteriorated, missing panels, or leaning, those things constitutes a dilapidated fence.
Obviously, the fence on this property needs immediate attention, so the code enforcement officer will inform the owner about options.
Once we observe a dilapidated fence, our first course of action is to give them a notice. If they're present, we normally will give them a hand notice. We normally give them 10 days to do the repairs to the fence. When you go back and you make repairs or replacing a fence, it needs to be done with like material. Like, for instance, the metal poles should be wooden poles.
And actually, there are 3 options when it gets to this point. You can repair it or replace it, but you can also remove it, unless it is what is known as a required fence.
If your home is near a commercial property, it's called a required fence. That means the fence has to be there and maintained. And normally a required fence separating residential property from commercial property, that fence is normally put there by the commercial property owner.
And Reagan says that even when repairing or replacing the fence are the only options, the city is willing to work with you because they're well aware of the cost for repairs or building a new one and the penalties that will come for those who don't.
That penalty is pretty stiff. The price of it is normally set by the courts, and it can be upwards of $200-300 on a citation. And that's why we work with them. I mean, if they're going to say, hey, you know what, Randy, I'll get a fence panel and I'll get this one put up this week and I'll do this one next month, we'll work with you. Times are hard for a lot of people. Yeah. So we don't mind working with you at all.
If you have questions, you can call the Grand Prairie Code Enforcement Division at 972-237-8296 or log on to the city's website, gptx.org, and follow the links to code enforcement. And now you know the code.
If you want an example of how to make green by being green, just take a look at Monotex in Grand Prairie. This local business is the destination for thousands of obsolete computers, monitors, printers, and other electronic devices. Monotex contracts with cities, companies, and other customers to recycle their electronic waste.
First thing it'll go through is kind of a triage sorting process where we will classify the equipment as to whether it's good for remarketing, reuse, or recycling. The time is anywhere from 7 to 12 days for a truckload of equipment that comes in. By the time it makes its way through the sorting process, through the demanufacturing process, and then all the way to its individual end product.
According to Segovia, about 20 to 25% of the material is refurbished and resold. The rest is shredded or pulverized for scrap.
The biggest change I think we can say that we've had is it's just the size. The scale of the operation has definitely grown over the years. It started out small as we fine-tuned our process, and we created some efficiencies and some better processing methodologies. Really, that's I think the biggest change that we've had. The process itself has grown. More equipment is coming in the door.
Segovia says the Grand Prairie plant has developed into one of the highest volume e-waste processors in the Southwest. That's good for the company's bottom line, and it's good for the local environment because all of this old technology is staying out of the landfill. That's it for this edition of Grand Prairie Update.
Don't forget you can watch all of our Channel 16 programs by going online at gptx.org/GPTV.